Hey! Looks like we're live. Oh, my little fireball. So I can actually see a little fireball that set up for the Etsy's. There we go. It's like the angle that the camcorder's at for me to see like what you guys are seeing. It's like gonna be so weird. One thing, I just got this guy in recently. At Target, seeing they had him in, which is the McFarlane Toys Platinum Edition of Steel from their, I think it's DC Multiverse. Not 100%, but I picked them up, and I was thinking about redoing this. Although because this is like a platinum figure, I kind of feel bad messing with it. But that being said, I kind of want to fix this up to look like how I want it to. So like red cape. And then also, for some odd reason, it has in the plastic, because what this is metallic plastic, but it's got little speckles of blue. And I don't know why. Also, I do not know why my dog is out upstairs right now. So I'm thinking about fixing this guy up probably in the near future. I might do a little stream of making a cape and touching him up. Okay, think I got the dog situation taken care of. Oh yeah, yeah, it's wearing a Carnosaur. Might work on him a little bit. I still gotta slap some more primer on him to solve it's a couple of the other areas. Oh yeah, this thing, Carnosaur is like notorious for having like the most dinkiest of little arms, as you can imagine. So I plan on, we'll probably primer him up today. If I get to it, I got a T-Rex to put together. That's all set. And then I thought I had it up for a Zilla, but I gotta print one more body piece. Because two of them I have, I found out the one's like, it's slightly deformed. I can show you. It's slightly deformed on the back. So I don't really want to mess with that because this is for a buddy of mine too. And then I had this one randomly around, but this one actually is cracked. Well, that one's crappy too. So I gotta reprint a body before I can assemble that one. So I figure I work on coloring them up. I gotta redo some of the primer areas. Because for the most part, all the paint's hard, but there's a couple of spots I missed here and there. So, want to work on that. Might get the T-Rex put together this stream too. We'll see how it goes. There's also a random -1 monster its head hanging out here. But you guys are around for that stream. Anyways, so... I guess first and foremost, I kind of need the black. Yeah, you gotta make sure it's like obnoxiously tight. Like that thing should be so cranked up that you can barely get room for the head. And like I said, you kind of got get really tight and then twist. And then that's when you put the glue, you do your accelerant. The other way is you could do it through the leg too. Before you do the leg, pull it on the leg and use that to tighten up. But it's a lot harder in that one. That one you might have to use a wire. And then also if it's a little loose, you can also twist it and it'll tighten the elastic on the inside of it is a way to cheat it a bit. Oh, sweet. Are you getting from Artic figures? Which would be cool, because I know the guy had like a lot of bad publicity a little bit ago. So actually getting this stuff would be nice to hear. What the heck did I do with my little... I'm ready to paint. Well, I thought I was ready to paint. But I don't know where my... Oh, it's up here. How are they up here? We'll use that one. I gotta clean these out. Why is there 4 in the box? Oh, it's all ready for the stream, and then clearly, in fact, was not ready for the stream. Okay. So I want that'll work. Yeah, like I said, it's with the elastic, it helps because you pull it till you can't pull it anymore. But you want to make sure when you're pulling it, you're not just like stretching it, this like yanking out the ink on, like where it isn't going to give anymore. That's as far as you want to go. And even then, it kind of depends on the elastic. Like I've had some that like they'll be a little like even this guy, he's a little looser because of the way the elastic is, but it still works pretty well. Like it holds a pose, but it's just noticing it's not the tightest one I've ever gotten. Sweet. Well, that's good to hear. Forever. Like these ones, like I printed these ones personally, so. Man, I'm missing everything now. Now I don't know, like I got gray surface primer painting out over there. I'm about to just start working on that Carnosaur and calling it a day. Oh. Where did the black go? Behind the laptop. Oh, cool. How's that figure doing, by the way? I still really like the way that one turned out. How's what a bootleg? I'm confused. I missed something. I did see the alien trail. The alien trail looks amazing. Like I'm actually legitly stoked for that one. Oh sweet. Yeah, the only prototypes I gotten lately are those anime ones. Those ones I was pretty stoked for. They're in their own little cabinet now. Hey Landon. Alright. A quick question, because I tend to... Oh, the weather here is horrible. It snowed really bad. It snowed for 2 days. And then driving to work this morning, I spun out in the middle of the road, so that was fun. Didn't cause any damage, nobody was around, but... So I'll probably touch this guy up with a... Trying to get it to where... If you were going to bend it as far as it needs to go... Without seeing... any grit. Oh, but anyways, my question was if you guys mind hearing the hair dryer or not in the live streams. Because I could just do what I've been doing, just muting the mic repeatedly. If you guys don't mind, it'll make my life a little faster. I'd say good's a strong word, but they haven't been bad. Gorosaurus. That'd be a cool one to do. I plugged this in. Why aren't you on? Oh. Did I lose audio? Oh, no. Okay, maybe it's just not close enough. I didn't see it spike. Oh, which T-Rex file is $8? I know personally, I hopped on there and got grabbed them for free. Well, to be fair, when everybody shared his files is when I got a hold of all majority of the ones that I have. I wasn't gonna buy a few of them, but then that whole situation happened, and I got them for free. Oh, they do, like I mentioned with these, is no matter what, you're gonna have some paint issues with them. Scuffing, what have you, just because it's resin. Resin on resin. And then it being elastic, there's not really any way to not have that. Because when you have a ball joint, the figure kind of sits there with the ball joint and then moves and sometimes rubs into stuff. While using the elastic and the wires, everything is contacting everything, and that causes more issues. It would have been nice to get one more of the David movies. I would have been down for it. Personally, I didn't hate Prometheus or Covenant. I thought they were fine. For what they were. I haven't gotten a Godzilla bootleg in a while. From what I've seen, they seem like they've gotten a little better. Like the paint quality on them still kind of hit and miss, but because this one I had a few issues anyways with a couple of the painting. Yeah, the articulation wise, they're generally the exact same. Yeah, even like he's mentioned with the Covenant, it's like it's just like another take on the universe. I always felt like. Yeah, as I say, if you could stop spamming the chat, I'd appreciate it. The phone is having a seizure. I really don't want to have to hop into YouTube to block people. You'd be doing me a favor. Because then if I hop on YouTube, then I'm going to monetize the stream. Like if I'm there, I might as well do it. Like Steve sent Steve Kuhn. Okay. I think we're back to where this looks good. Oh yeah, no problem. Glad you like him. Like I said, because these are like the way I always treat a lot of the customs I do. They're not fully like they're action figures, but I still don't recommend fully trying to use it like an action figure. Like, be very ginger with them. Okay, now we get to do some of the fun stuff. Because a lot of the touch-ups I'll probably end up doing off camera. Because this one, I kind of want to go over a little bit more brown. I'll be hitting that one then. Next Hammer video, we got one more on the... It's on the channel, I just haven't published it yet. It'll probably be in the next couple days. Be the Shimo. Just, lately I've been dealing with some stuff, like, physically, so... hard for me to some days really get motivated to work on things just because like with my hernia and a few other things makes it a wee bit difficult. Okay, so now we gotta do the spines. I get to go see the surgeon soon, so that'll be fun. A lot of the times I think a lot of people that get mad are just mainly kids that don't have expendable budgets. Like they're fully relying on their parents to buy them their action figures, and they're getting mad that somebody that has expendable income is willing to do that. Is what I think a lot of it does. I've had it for a while. I got it for my previous job. It's just lifting. It's an umbilical hernia. So essentially what it is I have a hole in my stomach right around my belly button and my intestines popping through. And usually I could push it back in. Not a big deal. I say that, but it's still kind of a big deal. But at some point, my the intestine can't get stuck. And if that happens, then we have a really, really big problem. Because then you get clamp off the intestine, and that stops bowel movements. It can kill the intestine, yada yada yada. It's not good. So it's at the point where it's really been bugging me now, so I need to get fixed. Before it was like I could feel it for like maybe an hour, it'd pop back in, we'd be good to go. And lately it's just been kind of chilling. And then it's like the reason why I didn't have videos yesterday up is went to the doctor, so they were shoving his finger in my stomach, and it was just a bit painful. Don't mind me. I'm trying to look up. This one's going for like a specific one, so I just want to make sure I got the. Oh yeah, they messaged me. Oh, fun fact, they'll have an update in a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so it's the teal. It's teal. All right. Make sure I got the colors right. I need a little bit of gray. Where's gray? I got a gray primer. I'll probably do. GMK, I'll be seeing it next, or GXK. That's a little con. I'll see it next Friday. It'll probably be like afternoon time. I'll probably be checking it out. Ah, there we go. That's the color. Okay, so in doing this, it's sort of the same as I do with the dry brushing. Get quite a bit off the brush, and then I just go over the spines, and then once I get quite a bit of it off the spine, then I just start doing the little spotches, because it's not as big of a deal if a little bit of the green gets on the skin, because it's just the way like the scaling works and stuff anyways. Ooh, cool, you got a Gallimimus. Gallies are... It's gonna start hitting all the big spots. I'm just working off, getting the paint off the brush essentially more. These sections I want to hit a little bit harder with the colors, with the paint. For the most part, you can get away with doing this pretty dirty. Yeah, I know I gotta get Ernest to come over so we can talk about that Romulus trailer. It's just that scene where the crew's getting chased by the face huggers. I'm already like, this movie's a 10 out of 10. Oh, thanks, Landon. I appreciate that. As I say, might as well do your whole collection. How do you make the paint stay on? Do you mean like with the friction? Because the easiest answer is you don't, really. The way to have the most success is I use a primer, so I have a few different ones here. But you get yourself some acrylic primers. So there's gray. Animated, I've been using black. Or anything in that same color scheme. Movie, you'd want something like this yellow. You do the entire figure. You could do it before assembly, but I've noticed it'll still scuff off no matter what you do. I've tried primering it, sealing the primer, putting it together. It'll still scuff off. So what I do is I usually primer the figure. I'll move it around, keep adding layers until most everything, when it's posing, it won't show any of the under resin. And then you just start adding paint to it, and then you can clear it while you're doing it. And that'll help keep the paint on. But I definitely recommend using a primer. A primer will help it stick on. And if you're having issues with peeling too, it's probably because you're applying too much paint at one time. Because if the paint goes on too thick, that could also cause problems. But like I said, I recommend if you guys are building these for yourselves, it's posable, but I wouldn't treat it like a Monster Arts or a normal action figure. Like, you want to be very meticulous when posing it around. That'll give you the best success with it. Because even it doesn't really matter like what resin you use too, like, because there's like super durable resins. I've tried a few different ones. I use ABS like resin because it's fairly inexpensive, but it also gives you a little bit of flexibility, especially when you heat it up. Like, makes it a little easier to work on stuff. Like I said, I'm going pretty dirty with this. You don't want to go super crazy on where you're applying the paint with the dry brushing, but you want to. But if you touch the skin a little bit, it doesn't really adjust the color enough. To make it really noticeable. Like there's a little bit of green on the highlight there right now, but again, it doesn't really mess around. Yeah, as a Star Wars, it's pretty much like the shows are the only things I've been really looking forward to. I'm hoping that Acolyte show's good. That one's got me a bit worried. But Ahsoka was fun. Obi-Wan was fun. Love the Mandalorian. And movies wise, it's pretty much like I don't even really hate Solo personally. So there's the spines. Good on there. Hair dryer real quick, just make sure it's dried. So for this guy, he's a little more brown. It's like a really dark brownish gray, is what this is. And then it's just normal gray on the bottom, but because I used the black, it looks darker. And that's generally what you do with the animated. You can just do dark gray, light gray if you wanted, because for the most part, he's not like kind of depending which episode or which still you're grabbing, or if you want to like the production stuff that will look different. Because like the one I made for myself, he's more gray than browns, but I have him, but I colored him more like you see in the production stuff, more so than the actual show. This one's more like the show, so he's more brown, or at least he leans more towards the brown. All right, so next we're gonna do the mouth, which mouth is pretty simple. Red. I already used the yellow, so hopefully when I dry brush into the mouth, it'll tint it to like the orange color. Answer the animated series. I love the animated series. I always thought it was really good. But again, I'm one of the guys that like I like the '98 movie. It didn't take much to really impress me. Yeah, like I said, it all depends on the shot. Sometimes he's dark, sometimes it's the bright brown, sometimes it's dark brown. But the one thing is, his mouth is definitely more of an orange. Color in all these. That's why I like using that yellow for the primer, and it kind of works as my base coat too. So that when I dry brush this red on, it hints more to the orange scale. Kind of like so. Saves me a little work. I'll go back through one more time just to hit it a little harder with the red. Some areas. Try to get that lip area. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, at least this one is. It's not a spray on. It's meant for airbrushing, but you can use a brush to get this to work. Oh, you got more hate mail? Always. Getting hate mail is always a win. Arnez? Not super far. Kind of depends on traffic. Probably like 20 minutes, 20-ish minutes. Okay. For the teeth, I've been using this. You have to be a little careful with it because it does kind of go on thick. So again, I don't use a lot of it, and I tend to do 2 runs of this paint when I'm doing figures. But this will be for the teeth and the nails. Got another fun one of these ones in the works too. That'll probably end up a video on here. Because I'm doing a figure it'd be fun to do a Tridmasters color one. Gotta put the fear of God in Zilla. Say if somebody wanted to send me one into paint, I would be more than willing to. My only problem with because I'll get a lot of people that'll ask about doing a bunch of different colors for once, and it's like I only have so many figures to do them with. Like I said, a lot of the sort of how-tos on the channel tend to be stuff that people sent in. Like, I got a -1 on the way to do a Spitfire version of. So that'll be fun. I really want to get another -1 because to do the I want to do the scene where like his eyes are bugging on his stuff. I want to make that a figure so bad. Of course, I've heard he won an Oscar. I had to stay up. I stayed up just to watch that. It was also cool just to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger try to say Godzilla, which he did a great job, by the way. I did see YMS's do YMSF. Why can't I say that? Definitely tempting. I thought Zilla was pretty good, but that animator looks pretty spicy. I've been kind of holding out to see if he'll put out a Because sometimes he'll do unpainted ones, and I would love an unpainted one. So I could just do it myself. Anyways, fill his teeth. Hair dry it so I don't randomly bump into it. I'm horrible at sculpting on for 3D printing. I've tried to do like the beams are about as good as I've gotten so far. Hand sculpting, I am okay. I got this guy sitting here currently, which is gonna be like a more stylized Plagueis. I think I'm okay at sculpting. And the best way for me to do it, if I was gonna do it, is to make everything by hand and then scan it into 3D prints. I think would give me the best chance of success. But that being said, I kind of need all the stuff in order to do, which I don't. Sadly. Use the same brush for nothing. Rarest figure. Oh, nice. I think the rarest Jurassic Park one we have, I think, is that the first movie Karn. I have that with all the parts. I think that's the rarest. Because she also has a bunch of the Chaos Effects ones, but none of the prototypes. I say rarest figure? That's a hard one. I know my old answer was there was the X plus Ava, which isn't as hard to get a hold of anymore because they reprinted it quite a few times. Like I said with the nails, I go over them really light. So I'll go over it once just to kind of get the paint on. I'll do both nails and I'll go back over them again. I tend to when I'm doing the nails. There'll be some sections I'll have to like redo eventually. Yeah, it kind of does. Right, just a little bit on that mini nail. Okay, I'll do the other one and then go back over it one more. Hoping tomorrow I got enough time. I got to work on. I got some Star Wars heads I got to repaint. And a Michael Myers. I'm hoping to work on that in the morning. Maybe try to toss a couple of things better. Yeah, we got it. Although, funny enough, I bought them separately. Not because I was trying to. Well, the Carno was on purpose. But we ended up doing a Facebook sale. And I had to drive like 5 hours to go get the stuff. But the lady had like the entire compound. And it was a bunch of stuff in a tote. But you can see the compound and everything was there. And she wanted $100. It was like, well, it's a bunch of Jurassic Park figures plus the compound. Sure, we'll go check it out. And lo and behold, we did pretty good in terms of what the stuff was going through. But when we were digging through the box, you seen there was a bunch of the capture gear, but like nothing to go with it. And one of the capture gears was for the Carno. And it was everything, like all the pieces were there, but not the Carno. It was just the weirdest thing because it's like you almost always hear about like the extras always are what disappears, but you can find the dinosaur, or at least the main figure, and it's not usually the other way around. So then for Christmas for Jessica one year, I got her I got a good deal on a Carno without the gear, and now we have a full one. Which is also how I got my shockwave upstairs. Like I have a fully working shockwave. And I only have that because I bought two broken ones and then put them together. Took the parts from what I needed and made a good one. I got some good deals out of those over the years. Like I bought from a shop. It was a quote unquote broken vintage Skylinks. Had all the parts, but it didn't walk. Like the animatronic didn't work in it. And I took it home, unscrewed it, just found out it was a gear on the inside popped loose. And lo and behold, it walks now. And shot up that thing's value for sure. Funny enough, I did some work for that guy for his shop because he got like a Millennium Falcon that was the electronics were working in it. So I took it home, tore it apart, redid the electronics, and then the guy ended up selling it for like 3 times. I ended up getting some free toys out of it. Let's go. I would love to have the actual Lost World trailer because we have the trailer, but we have the Chaos Effects trailer. So I have the super colorful one. All right, so there's nails. Need to get cleaned up a little bit, but the paint is on. Paint is on. Oh. The guy you do assist. Oh, yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think it's the same guy. I have to look because usually after I do commissions for people, I tend to delete the messages. I do think it was the same guy. Also, the only thing that kind of sucks with this liquid text paint is it does dry kind of quick. So as you're painting it, I got this glob here, but the outside of the glob starts getting a bit hard. So you kind of got to work relatively quick. But these nails, same premise. I just do both the nails. I get one coat on them. Somebody's throwing things upstairs. He is ornery. My wife's currently up there watching. Yeah, because I only ever had the Compound growing up. Because the first movie was the only one my mom would bought us toys of. My mom was kind of weird. Like, love her to death. But buying collectibles growing up, like Godzilla is the only thing she would consistently is okay buying for me. And other stuff, it would always be like rotational. And sometimes I didn't even want it. Like, I like Ghostbusters. And I remember for Christmas one year, he got me like all the Extreme Ghostbusters figures, which was cool. Never seen the show. But my mom got a really good deal on them. So I ended up with a bunch of them. Nail could be clean. Like I said, I try not to fret too much being a little messy. Because I tend to go back over it and clean it up. Like I'll touch this guy up like one more time before I call him a day. Like I'll go through, clean up the nails, make sure there's no extra like random little spots of paint missing from something. Then I'll clear coat them, do the same thing, make sure nothing needs to be nothing needs to be cleaned up, clear coat it, and then it'll be good from there. And then I'll probably never touch it ever. He does solo everyone, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't think people tend to realize just how expensive some stuff is. No, this is Artic figures. I printed it, I'm painting it, but he made the file. Like outside of making the file, that's all he's done, at least for the work on this. I'd be okay with seeing Zilla in the MonsterVerse. I think he'd fit in. Plus, it'd be kind of cool because they could just name him like there's Zilla and then there's Godzilla. Like people mistaking him, kind of like the joke from GMK where they mistaken him as Godzilla. Uh, darn it. Got a glob of paint on it. Q-tips, ho. I choose you. Have a good one, Spino. Oh, that's gonna have to get cleaned up. Yeah, I'm just gonna suffice that nails this guy. Well, like I mentioned, the second layer It's just to even out the color. Oh, I forgot the mini tail. The mini tail on this one. Yeah, because with art figures too, I don't know if he does like specific colors or what have you. Like I think I've seen a movie version, but I don't know if they would do like animated. Have you? Well, I imagine it'd probably just be like request by basis. Oh yeah, the NECA Pacific Rim stuff was great. I still don't know my stuff. That's why like a couple of gypsies I ended up getting rid of. Although I'm in agreement with you, I still say '98 Godzilla is my favorite American Zilla. Like, don't get me wrong, I like legendaries, but Zilla was just like it's so unique for a Godzilla that I always just appreciated it. Okay, now his claws, teeth. So essentially, he's pretty much all done outside of the eyeball. Eyeball for him, it's yellow, orange, and then black. A little yellow. Might bust out a new brush for this one. The one works all right, but yeah, the eyes here. I don't really too afraid to go a little over with the coloring. Like if it gets a little messy, fine. Like that eye kind of got jacked up a bit. It's just like the nails, you can go over it. Yeah, and clean it up where you need to. I would say 14's my favorite out of the MonsterVerse ones. Because I like them being like really thick and almost bear-like. Same with the spines. I like the spines being shorter. next, take some of this red. Mix it with my yellow. Orange that I'm looking for. Right about there. And then when doing the eye, I tend to try to leave a little bit of the yellow showing on the front if I can. Not always successful, but I try to aim for that. I still say I like the looks, but because if I hate them, I want to be excited about them, you know. But I don't know, it was like they took something that was a little more unique and then tried to make it more relatable or more like the original. And now we're getting like back to being kind of crazy. There we go. Now, what I like to do, kind of a personal thing, but I like to put a little eye shine on it. I can find my white, the ivory. It's my finishes. I think I could find a white hanging around here. Because there's the other finish hanging out over there. I thought I had all the bottles just kind of hanging out in front of me. But it never fails that one of them goes, ooh. One of them goes away. Then for these, it's just practice. Lots and lots of practice. Because I just kind of taking your time with these. And eventually you'll get there. Like I said, I don't even think like I'm perfect. And usually I'll take the eye shine or take the little bit of white and I'll try to get it to where like the upper left corner where the orange and the yellow meets. I try to put it right there. Just a little dab. Just give it a little character. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that Yukon one, and then yeah, then they just kind of gave up on the line. Nobody was buying Gypsy Dangers anymore. That one looks good. This one I kind of went a little higher with the eye because I wanted to look a little meaner. Because having done a few of these, I like to do the eyes a little like I like to do something a little different on each one. Hi boys. Pretty good. All right, so I'll let him sit. And then, like I said, I'll do a couple of touch-ups. He'll get cleared, touch him up again, cleared, and then he will be done. And then we'll eventually get a YouTube video. See, we have 30 minutes still. Oh. Yeah, 30 minutes, so my wife has to get ready for work. Real quick, go get a drink. Running over a grocery bag. I did see the new -1 color. It looks sweet. Not sure if I'm going to get it, because I tend not to want the recolors. Maybe for the sake of video reasons, I would maybe want it to, but personally, I don't know. If anything, I want a gold one. I want, like, the Oscars with the bow tie monster arts. Okay, well, what I think I'm going to do is we got this T-Rex I've been meaning to get put together. And the one reason I didn't do it the other day is I didn't have the little hands. I got the hands now. So I could probably sit here and try to figure out. That's the top. Got neck piece for you. Other neck piece. Tie. Tail tip. Tail. 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 So those are all tails. That's a tail. Looks like it. This would be the leg. Foot, knee. Everything for the leg. I lied. Got those. The arms are the only things I'm concerned about getting put together. Because it's so small. And then I got some little men that were for commission. They sent me some files, so I was printing them for them. Oh, the monster? It kind of scales with Final Wars. I don't have a monster that's hanging out on the table currently. Otherwise, I could show you. Kind of like let's see. Do I have that right? That looks correct, right? Ooh, they worked for Counter. Tell them to find me some like VR Trooper prototypes. I'll grab them all. Let's see one that's been like on eBay for the longest time. It's like the production samples. Okay, so I think we're like Close. Missing a part. Okay. So that's the tail. That's the body. NECA con's cool. If you like the you like original like 30 33, 33, 32, 33 con, I'd recommend it. I was hoping that hole's a little bigger. Cause that's what she said. One thing I've done quite a few of these. I tend to redo some of the holes to make my life a little easier on some of these things. Cause like the tail, I'm gonna do. Hands, I think I'm definitely gonna be doing wires. This one, for the sake of sanity, I want to make it a little bigger. So that I can get that through a little easier. Which I need the next up. Just holding. I think it's this one. Oh, come on. Give it to me. Alright, I hope that little chip isn't going to be a problem. Grant, it's going to be reinforced with some glue, bunch of glue anyways, but you never know. There. My trusty God hand nippers that I never actually use for God hands. I usually try to give people fair. I try to do fair by people. Personally. It kind of depends. Like I had a guy that I worked with that he was selling some Transformers, and I ended up giving him more than what he wanted because I know how much they go for. That being said, I didn't pay full price for them still, but I gave him more than what he was initially asking. Especially if you're friends with the guy, I would definitely try to go and try to be. I don't want to say screwing over, but I want things to be as fair as possible. That being said, if you go to like, I've also gone to a comic book shop and purchased something that I definitely know went for more than what they were asking. That I have no sympathy for, because you should know your prices. The special color, I think it's a sweet figure. It's a bit because of the Haya being a thing now. I think if you don't already own it, just buy the Haya. If you already own it, you're probably fine just having that. Yeah, it could be it too. It's kind of depends on person to person. Prototypes, though, I would say, like if the guy was going to put them on eBay, you're kind of if he's expecting to get more, I would still be trying to work it out a little for them a little bit. I think it could just be cool just selling your stuff for cheap. Oh yeah, because what was that deal? It was for a Gen 1 Optimus that had all the parts, all the stickers were intact. Like, I still own it. The thing was like mint. Pretty minty. And then he had a Jetfire that didn't have the card. Like, none of these had the boxes, but he had a Jetfire that didn't have any stickers on it. But he still had the sticker sheet. And he had all the parts, including the gun clip that, like, everybody's is broken. And initially, I think he asked me for like $60. And I ended up getting like a couple random other stuff off him too. And I ended up paying him like 104. I gave him like 100. Which even at the time, I was still doing pretty good. Because like the Optimus Mint was like 100, and then the Jetfire, because he had the clip, was worth quite a bit. I was really sad that I'm noticing this one tail has a little, because how thin it was, it's got a little chip missing. Fixable. It's there. Right now I'm trying to straighten the tail, so when I go to put this through the body, there was many problems. I don't know how the body's gonna have cavity. Is it the top? No, that seems wrong. Because it is. Okay. Supposed to be like Moon Knight series, I thought it was fine. It's one of the only ones I've gone through all the way. Least favorite Haya is the Kong. The GXK Kong. Favorites. Honestly, probably the Ghidorah. Probably my favorite now. Ghidorah's really good. Monstars, my favorite still the Awakened Shin. The Purple Spine Shin Godzilla. Least favorite, I would still probably say is... I always hop between the Destroyer set or the Godzilla Jr. set. My two least favorites. Granted, in hindsight now, probably would have to go with... Because even though I have issues with those, the at least they're painted and sculpted correctly. Well, the Monsters Reverse stuff doesn't even generally have paint on them. Yeah, so least favorite of those is tough. I almost kind of want to go with their Ghidorah would be my least favorite. So, just re-drilled the hole. I wanted it to be a little bigger so I could fit this cable through. Using a thicker cable on this one. Skullcrawler was cool. It was one of the ones that popped through my head. My only problem with the Skullcrawler is it's not just mine, but like the hand articulation for it, the elbow or whatever you want to call it. The wrist on it pops off. It's a pretty common thing. And I wish it was a little more posable. Which is kind of my problem with the column. Posability. But Skullcrawler just looks cool. And it mostly does what you wanted anyways. Like I said, just for Ryan here, because he's building it there. I got it tight. But it's not giving me any more give. So I don't want to go any harder than this. I could probably stretch it even harder, but I don't want to go harder than this. Then, get my T-Rex to where in the head. Apply a little more pressure. Make sure nothing's wiggling. And then take it, stretch it around. God damn, I got that first try. Hold while I grab the glue. Try my best. It's not so easy with this guy because the way his head's kind of shaped, it makes it harder to grab while also yanking on. Zilla, I could kind of work that around. Mr. T-Rex here. I'll be honest, I don't really got much of an opinion on the toy reviewers because I don't really watch too many other people's. Odd to say. Because it's like when you're in the game, it's really hard to focus on other people's. Yeah, it ain't wiggling. I think we did good. I haven't seen like one Jobby video, and I thought it was good. Yeah, plus like most reviewers they're all trying to do their own different things. And then some try to do like same as how other people are doing. Just kind of take inspiration. Ooh, you know what? I'm starting to realize I maybe should have done the arms first before I did that. I'm hoping that's not going to come to bite me in my... Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit harder on the comedy side than us. But I think we're pretty, like, we're just authentic. I guess is the best way to say it. This is one thing I like about having Arnez in the videos and stuff, because it's just like the chemistry between us is kind of what you're getting. Instead of it being more of like a character. Like we just are the characters. Now I gotta do the same thing. I gotta re-drill these feet. And this one's kind of jacked up, but it's fixable. Yeah. So for this one, it didn't print quite right because I think the support kind of popped off in the middle of printing. So this one, I'm just going to take a file and just kind of round it out myself. Which I do got some files hanging around. You know, back when I mainly watched toy reviews, I mainly watched like, I don't even know if they're still around, but there was like Optibotimus and the Shartimus Prime for a couple people because at the time I was collecting Transformers more, so I was watching some of their stuff, and then they would also just kind of like what a lot of people do with our stuff. They tend to have it in the background while you're working on things. Yeah, they're kind of like that too. Like you get different takes because Art has likes different things than I do. So is he okay? Well, that's cool. So, yeah, I was gonna say because I know I've seen like I think it was not too long ago because like some sites shared his stuff. But yeah, I used to like his stuff. Sorry, wife was asking a question. Oh, are you checking them out? Appreciate it. That fits. I might not be able to get the T-Rex done on this one. Yeah, because there's like some other reviewers like I talked to, and like I'm friends with on Facebook and stuff. Like there's like Ultra Zilla Toys. I think it's probably the biggest one I mainly keep in contact with. Trying, God, Dave slipped my mind. Like Luminous, the guy from Luminous. Funny enough, dresses like the guy from dresses like Breaking Bad. Um, Netflix. The one I'm currently really into is Delicious in Dungeon. I've been watching that, and that one's been really good. By the same studio that did Kill la Kill. I initially checked it out because of that, and I've just really enjoying it since. Oh, they actually snapped in. What? What? Crazy. Shameless. As I say, yeah, because we did a video with them a long time ago. I think it was talking about the TV show when that first got announced. Trying to figure out which one goes to which. This foot. So then, if I do stream tomorrow, we can kind of go from here. So that leg goes with that leg. Arms are going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Like I said, I don't actually. Like I said, I'm hoping USPS? No, not always. Especially if you do importing, you're kind of like it's a crapshoot when you're importing when you're like up because what was it? My Ghidorah from Cowkiss. It said on the site it was still in customs, but it got delivered. What happened? Yeah, I should have did that before I put the head on. Because the way this hole is, it goes upward. Now, hindsight's a 20/20 kind of thing. I'm thinking I can maybe just make a new hole. Call it a day. Because I don't know. You know what? I could probably bend that. There's enough slack here. I think I can get away with it. Because I gotta get the wire through here. And then I can hopefully just stick like one of my sculpting things in and bend it down and put it back through. I'll probably get the one arm set up, do that, then do the other arm. Look how tiny these fingers are. The wire. Oh, don't tell me the wire's not going through. I had this. It was so clean. What the heck? Let's see, where'd the other hand go? Just want to demonstrate. Look how tiny that is. Like, I'm so afraid. Because the way you want to do it is you want to kind of wrap it and twist. I feel like I'm going to snap this thing. This might be a one-wire wonder. I might be able to get away with two. Because I could also... I do have an elastic band I did get, but it wasn't really working well for the Zillas. If I could get that through the hole, it would probably do the trick. I mean, I got 2 minutes to problem solve this, and I have to call it a day. Where did the... Alright, next question. Where the hell's the end to this? I'll be honest, my table's a little messy. Screw it. I don't use this one very often. You'll be my end. Can I fish this through this hole? Don't think so. Not easily. So can I use the wire? Pop it through. Like I said, it's one of those like these can be challenging, but it's also it's what kind of makes it fun is problem solving some of these things. Because the guy built designed this so that he knows how everything works, how he wants the stuff to go. I don't know any of this. So it's just winging everything for me. Because this little hand, I will not be able to drill. I can... God bless it. The wrapping kind of came off. So I was hoping it would sort of work in my favor because it'd make it thinner. But I can't get it to stay long enough in order to pop it through. My intro was actually made by a buddy of mine. I'll be honest too. I'm not 100% how he did it. I know he used pre-made models, and then I think he rigged them in I want to say Blender or some kind of software like that where you can move the models around, and then did that to animate it. Oh my god, I got this. A little more. Feel like the Velociraptor trying to hatch. Yeah, you can use foil wiring to build it. I just like the elastic. Come on, we're crowning. Oh, is that enough? Is it good enough? Heels, yeah, got it. Because if I could use this, then I could just knot it, glue it, call it a day. Because it doesn't need to be super tight, because it's a little arm. Whew. Cool beans. Now, which hand is this? This looks like this would be a left hand. This is my right hand. Yes. Because the way that you can kind of tell where the way the finger's bending, so it's kind of bending words, which kind of makes me think that this is more to the left side. Yeah, because if you use the wire, it's kind of the same gist. You just get as tight as you can, and then you can twist the figure by just. It's hard to show with this one, but pulling it out and then rotating it, and that'll tighten it up. It's easier on the Zilla because he's rounded. This is meant to be grooved, so a little harder on the Rexy. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this live stream. So help us defeat those kaiju by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. I also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like you build the day with channel and donate. Greatly would appreciate it. I'll try to do another one tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning. Because when Jessica gets home and I get up, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll work on stuff for a bit. She'll go to bed. And then me and Casey will be playing. Anyways,